preferably hope that I don't use up all my shots. Okay, run out. Actually, I'm going to be looking at that now soon for... There we go, okay. Okay, nice one, get onto the platform. Just... Okay, there we go. That's the annoying part of the wolf bow for me, is like trying to actually stop the wall run. Okay, so you can see there, a skeleton has formed. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Good thing I got quick revive. I happened to land right down in the middle of a big horde of zombies, which was unfortunately not smart of me. Okay. So technically, not happening. I do not. God, I was pressing the down arrow. Oh, okay. Gotta quickly go and get quick revive again, I guess.
The flavor is acquired taste.
Take those out. Hey, okay. And I guess there's still more sense for the wolf. Jesus Christ, I really hate it when my zombies like walk away and can't even get out. We probably had a good test. I mean, a lot of people who are so relatable. There we go. Die. Okay, that is the wolf bow. Now, because the lightning bow is better, I'm actually not going to, because lightning bow is better, I'm not going to worry about it. I am next going to go to, I guess what I could do is do the more challenging one, which is the fireball.
I will need no second strike to ensure your death.
Okay. Ooh, if I'm lucky, that's true. Okay, bind myself to that. Now I'm going to head down to the rocket base.
The lightning strike always finds its target.
I'm 22 now. How's my... I'm pretty well packed in terms of... I could easily go to Munich and, get and to get a weapon if I wanted to. I might not worry about it. I'm just gonna wait for the rocket launch to go off. I'm not going to worry about a Ragnarok beast, to be quite honest with you. I'm just not done. There's a Ragnarok going off, it is indeed. Okay, so now I'm just going to... What I am actually going to do is just before I run out, I'm going to do a charge and shot. That's one there. Another one. Another. I would preferably hope that I don't use up all my shots. Okay, run out. Nice. So you need to hit that rock. A lot of people do find it very hard to do that. So bear with them. Let me see, can I get it from here? If you heard that, that's what the sound it means I didn't. Poop. But yeah, so people will find it hard to do that. I really need to max ammo soon. I'll put myself at... I really hate when it doesn't actually go down.
Know this! Nikolai knows electricity! The train's not appreciated. I'm down, okay. I'm gonna run, hopefully, there is other ways. I owe you mind if I pay later?
Okay, I'm gonna run in here. Okay, I need to get back to Chug and, okay, yeah,
Did you actually use your team?
Yeah, you know what? If I can get to the death ray in time, without zombies mauling me, and if I don't need the fucking Panzer while I'm at it, then that'd be really handy. Oh my god, shit. I did pretty well, to be honest. 23, much better than the last time. So I was in the middle of doing the firebow, and I only got as far as hitting the rock, which made the thing fire up. The next stage I was trying to do before I completely lost all my arrows and I couldn't really do much with continuing the firebow was line up the 3 circles. The circles are at the slope where I originally tried to hit and missed it. The second one is next to the landing pad by the clock tower, missed that, and the third, which I hadn't even gotten to yet, was actually at the death ray where I was at. You can only hit them when you're launched in the air, so that's something to be mindful about. And the last, well, okay, so then after you get the 3 of them, you then have to stand in the circle or near enough so that you can, you know, kill zombies, have themselves float into the circles, and then after that you have to enter the clock tower, interact with the cogs, and you get the symbol. It matches one symbol, the symbol that you get will match with one of the 3 fireplaces around the map. The first one of them is actually the fireplace below the dragon in the lab or the church or whatever room you want to call that one. The second is in the bedroom, so normally after you cross the bridge in the lower courtyard and you turn right, clear the debris for 1250. If you turn right, you'll see a fireplace there. And the third one is actually in the room next to the gobblegum machine in the lower courtyard. So if you're like standing on the dragon, there's a little curving stairs that head up towards the gobblegum machine. It's actually in that room there. The symbols for each of those fireplaces will remain the same regardless. So there's usually like 3 symbols. I usually go by 3 lines, 2 lines, and then a cross. The 3 lines is actually in the room next to the gobblegum machine at the lower courtyard. The cross is in the bedroom, and the 3 lines, no, the 2 lines, sorry, is in that lab of the church, again, whatever you want to call that room. And once you get that symbol, you have to go to the one circle that's still lit up, so it could be in the upper courtyard, death ray, or in the lower courtyard, or at the slope, not the lower courtyard. And what you need to do is you get 4 shots to do this. Some people say 3, but I think that's because they tend to shoot the lava inside the circle. You don't need to do that. You have to stand in the circle, and you have 4 shots to travel up towards the fireplace. It has been the case where I have gotten the circle by the landing pad near the clock tower, which is the upper courtyard one, and I had to get to one of the 3 lines, which is over next to the gobblegum machine in the lower courtyard, so I had to travel the bloody map just to get to that fireplace, but I have managed. So that's that part. And then what happens is, after you do that, is you have to interact with the fireplace, and there's usually a good chance of max ammo. Once it reduces from this big puffy flame thing to a small flame, you should be fine. Go back to the death ray where there's this big fireball which is just hovering. It should be close enough for you to just interact with it, and once you successfully interact with that ball of fire, it'll rise up, all bits of rock will clump to it as if like this big rocky ball in the middle of the air with a huge fireball in the middle of it, and then it'll just explode, and then you should see this little reforged fire arrow that just comes down. You collect that and bring it to the undercraft and do just like with the rest of the other bows. So I got the lightning bow and the wolf bow. It was fairly unfortunate that I ran out of. I could have easily got myself out of that situation. I really should have turned on the death ray when I got up to there, because I could have easily gotten through that. Well, mistakes can be made. So that was a very fun game. I will mention how to do the void bow quickly here. The void bow is actually, to do that, what you need to do is go to the goblin gun machine at the lower courtyard and face in towards the lower courtyard and look up. And on the roof there's a void symbol. So you just hit that, bind yourself to that quest. Now, there's little room off of the upper courtyard. I did clear the debris and I had to interact with the fourth poster painting for the wolf bow. So that room, you see a goblin machine to the side, and then there's a tunnel that heads towards Mule Kick. I had so much money I could potentially go down there, get Mule Kick for 4,000 and get a new weapon. I mean, like, to be honest, if you have the lightning bow, a pack-a-punched haymaker, or even a dingo, which is the dire wolf, and maybe even a pack-a-punched ray gun, I mean, you are beast. As nice as you have chug, a shield, quick revive. If you have, I mean seriously, if you have perkaholic, the lightning bow, the pack-a-punched haymaker or dingo, and the pack-a-punched ray gun, I mean, people are gonna be like, yeah, dude, you can do this on your own. Like, you'll be that OP. It is closing in on an hour. I will be splitting this up into 2 parts, just like with another video which we filmed in 2 hours. So this isn't the first recording I've done of Eisendrache Zombies. My first solo one, it is. So I know, yes, that technically speaking, like, it would be interesting, and I'd be surprised if I managed to do it, of getting as far as 4 bows. I mean, I could have done that if I did do it correctly. Like, I'm not that bad at zombies. I really do consider myself. What pisses me off though is my first time getting to doing solo and getting up to a really high round, which is round 18, was I was at this rank, and I'm after getting to round 23. I personally don't really know how to advance past 35. If any of you guys know, please let me know. Please let me know down in the comments. So yeah. Now, I did mention I was going to explain how to do the void bow. So I told you how to bind yourself to the quest. Now, when you're in that room, you what you should see is a little purple square. Now, the best idea to do is either have a crawler, insta-kill with a bowie knife. Otherwise, it's going to get really hard for you. If you can, you can potentially leave it until the last zombie and just melee him until he's dead, because really you need to melee a zombie over that square. So if you have a quick revive, it'd be just handy. Just make sure that there's not a lot of zombies with you in the center and hopefully in that room, because it will get really hard to do if you do not kill zombies quick enough, really. So really you have to melee a zombie over the square, so make sure the zombie's on the square. At the time I did try to see, okay, so do you have to be on the square? I did try that. No, you have to make sure that when you melee a zombie, the zombie is on the square. And once you do that correctly, it should pop open the floor. Then you have to interact with the floor, and an urn will come up, and then you need to get these 6 skulls. So the first skull I would recommend getting is just run into the lower courtyard and head up the stairs, that has a vesper. So it's like a little small set of stairs, there's a vesper and another big set of stairs. Head up there. Now if you look at the church window, there should be a little skull. Interact with that and you get it. This purple mystical smoke stuff should appear to say you got the skull. The second one is actually by the mule kick machine, and they do say this is hard enough to get, but you know, hear me out. So if so, kind of on the paths that meet up. So you say if you're going from the path from the gondola station to the mule kick, and the path from the room they do all the void bow stuff in to mule kick. Well, where they meet, there's a little brick wall, and it's kind of all broken. Now, if you look beyond the brick wall, if you look inside the brick wall, you should see an alien skull in there. Interact with that, and you're good. So that's the second skull. Is that right? The second one. The next one I would recommend doing is go to near to double tap, and if you come up from the slope, it's like there's a little bit of a broken wall on the outside wall, and next to double tap you should see a skull around there. I know I'm saying this and there's no visual way. I'm sorry, but I could have even just showed you while I was walking around, but no worries. The fourth one is actually in the toy box in the bedroom, so really after you clear the 1250 debris, if you turn left you have Sam's bedroom. Now if you continue a little bit more and turn left again, you should see all these toys in the toy box, there's a skull in there. And then the last two are down in the undercroft and the rock base. So if you go to the undercroft, head towards the teleporter, and when you run into the teleporter room, turn right, and at the end of that room you should see a sink. Look in there, well, a sink or a basin, whatever you call it, and look in there and you should see a skull. Then go to the rocket base and you should see a truck nearby to the pack-a-punch. Go over there, and if you look on the trailer of the truck, you should see a skull. Collect that, and then you can head back up to where you do the void room. Now, as long as you have all 6 skulls, the next thing you have to do is you need to get 6 crawlers. So this is personally one of the toughest parts of the void bow. So what you need to do is either launch grenades or shoot your arrows to result in crawlers, really. So as long as you can get crawlers, bring 6 of them into that little room, and just let the skulls kill those crawlers, and their souls will fly up to the urn, and once all 6 skulls are done, it will say 3 words. Right? So 3 words, and they can be anything from heart, griffin, stag, door, horn, and crown. Those 6 words, right? And so, but they won't say all 6. They'll only say 3. So keep those in mind. If you can't hear it well, put on the subtitles, because it is a recommendation. If there's a lot of noise, put on the subtitles so you're able to hear what they say. So just to make it easier. So what you need to do is when you hear 3 of these words, they could be maybe horn, griffin, stag, crown, door, heart. Those are just examples, right? What you need to go is go to the night room. Now, if you clear open the doors are worth 1,500. Either if you're coming from the bedrooms, which is like the first painting I showed you for the wolf bow, the 1,500 doors behind that. Now, if you walk into there, you have the night room. Continue on towards the night room, towards the power. So you have the night room there. Okay. So if you're standing in the night room and you're looking down the stairs that leads to the corridor, which heads down to the bedrooms, to your left is crown, and to your right, around there, is door. Okay? Now, if you're just after entering the night room from the lab or the church, again, whatever you want to call it, is that if you turn left, there should be a little like zombie entrance, and there should be a stag one there. And if you turn right immediately after you enter the night room, you should see the one for horn. And if you're standing in the middle of the night room and are facing towards the power, if you walk a bit more closer, you should see griffin and you should see heart. So those are the 3 general locations. If I can, I might do a quick little showing of where they are. But what you do is if you hear the 3 words, so say for example now you hear stag, griffin, horn. So you go to stag, of which you should know that one, where if you're in the night room, you kind of walk a bit more closer to the corridor, and it's to your left. So that's not, and I'm thinking of crown. You just after entering the night room from the lab, and I'm going to refer to it at this point, and you turn left, you see a zombie entrance, turn left, and then next to that is the stag. So say you interact with that, right? and that's if, say, because when you get these 3 words from another set of 6 words, which could be tear, claw, arms, spikes, moon, I think it is, and ribbon, right? So the 6 new words are going to be anything from, like, even, like as I said, you know, tear, moon, claw, arms, spikes, and ribbon. So what will happen is, for each of the 3 words you get from the voice that was said in that room you do the voice stuff in, for each one of them it'll give you another word. So if you get stag, griffin, horn, and you go to stag and you get tear, and you go to griffin and you get moon, and you go to horn and you get your ribbon. So if you get tear, ribbon, okay, I'm after forgetting the order I just said, but say for example, if you got griffin and it gives you horn, or no, if you got griffin and it gives you tear, then you need to remember tear. If you get horn and it gives you ribbon, remember ribbon. So you get tear, ribbon, and say if you get door and it gives you circle, the moon, right? So you could get tear, ribbon, moon, for example, right? So what you need to do then is just kill zombies. They will drop off little purple droppings, and they will represent the new symbols you should have. Now, if there's one of the other 3 symbols of which you don't need, you can still collect them. It won't do much. But once you get the 3 symbols that you need, you head back towards the room which you do the void bow stuff in, and the 6 circles around the urn is that they will show a symbol in there. Now, as long as you have if you have the word that matches up with the first word said, you can strike that. Right, so you have to do a charged shot up against the symbol. I'm pretty sure it's a charged shot. I don't think I've tried a normal shot, but I'm pretty sure it's a charged shot. So you strike the first one, and then once you can get the second one, charge to the same to the second, and then to the third. Now, if you get the names correctly, you'll hear "that is my name," and then the whole effect will go on, and you can then interact with the thing and get the bow or the arrow, and head down and do the usual stuff. However, if you unfortunately either get the order wrong, or you don't strike the symbols correctly at all, then it'll say "that is not my name." Now, you might have to wait a moment, because what will happen is that the skulls will just go flying around the room. They won't scare it back to where they are, because that would be freaking annoying. They'll just return to a state of we're ready to go. Just shoot the symbols in the correct order this time, sort of thing. So that's really it. Hopefully that I will manage to do another solo gameplay at some point, explaining full on properly how to get this stuff. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video. I was I did pretty well. I kind of feel a bit annoyed that I should kind of got down 23, but I did pretty well overall. But I guess this is bye from me with Rubik's R25, and I'll see you other recruits. Blue Nova out.